You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Challenge us at Wexford Insurances 0818 31 30 30.
Welcome back to the show. I'm now joined by Faye Dooley of the Wexford Study Hub. Faye, start by telling me a bit about your own background, please.
Yeah, I'm 24 years of age. I grew up in Wexford town. I went to Scolwara and then to Loreto Wexford, and then I went on to WIT to do a business degree. I had a baby about 2.5 years ago, so I was a stay-at-home mum for 2 years. And then I just kind of decided that, you know, I had enough and I wanted to go back into the working world, and I set up Wexford Study Hub. Okay,
and tell me, where did the idea for the Wexford Study Hub come from?
Well, my brother was going through his Leaving Cert only just last year, and just kind of sitting down and talking to him and hearing his frustrations regarding kind of study and not having enough time. So it just kind of sparked from there, and then I sat down with my own dad and we had a discussion about it, and we both kind of just loved the idea, and it just kind of went from there.
And as a young mother of a 2.5-year-old, how do you balance work and life?
It's very tough. It's not easy. I think the main thing, at the start it was very hard for me to go back into the working world, because I did make the choice kind of stay at home with Ben, and it was very tough kind of to go back into the working world, but juggling the two is tough. I'm very lucky that I have a lot of family support and a lot of people, you know, that'll help me out kind of minding them, but child minding is a big one when it comes to going back into the working world.
And what level of encouragement did you get from the family when you came to them with the idea for the Wexford Study Hub?
They just gave me all the help that I needed. Because I'd never done anything like this before, I had an education, but I didn't know, you know, where do you start from this? They kind of pointed me in the correct direction and who to talk to, and kind of set me off from there. So it was brilliant. So
once you had the idea and you had the encouragement and support from the family, what was the next step for you?
The next step, we went and we got just as simple as getting the domain name. Then myself and my dad went off and we tried to find a premises. So we didn't have a lot of success for what we were looking for. There's a lot of premises out there, but it's a very specific place that we were looking for at the time. And just by chance, my dad was driving through Peter Square and he saw signs in the Northgate house in the building that we're renting from now, and he gave a phone call in. We went to view it and we just absolutely fell in love with the place. It was a shell, the main room was a shell at the time, and they were only kind of really renting the 2 smaller rooms, so it was, at the time we were going to do it on a much smaller scale, but then we kind of decided go big or go home, and we took on the full project and did up the bigger room.
So you're providing a supervised study hub for Leaving Cert students, is that correct?
Well, it's for all students, so from first year to 6th year. So it's supervised study, it's open from 4 till 9, so instantly you have more hours, you're more flexible with your timetable. You can go off and do a grind for an hour and still get 4 hours studying. It's brilliant because it's a change of scenery. It's all about motivation. It's about meaningful study. So the people that are coming to do study are the people that want to study. They want to do well. They want to put the work in. And then I kind of provide motivation as they go along, kind of keep them interested. So I provide kind of tea and coffees and bars and Nutrigrains and stuff for them as well. And I do a prize at the end of every term for the student who does the most study hours. But the reason I track the study hours is because it's very good for the student to have an average amount of study. They know then what they're capable of when they're doing their timetables, and they know kind of where to focus their study and their energy to get the most out of their study time.
Now, in relation to the premises itself, did you ever consider locating the Wexford Study Hub in schools across the county?
Because I was in the Loreto Secondary School, and I know that, and I did supervised study there, so I knew that the schools provided supervised study already. So that's why I didn't really go for the schools. And also a key factor of my business is that I motivate them, and one of the main motivational things that I have is that they have a change of scenery. They get to come into a new place, and it just kind of makes them more fresh, more alert and more keen to study.
Faye, tell me about the first couple of months of business. How tough was it?
Well, we opened up in September. It was extremely tough. I sat in, a room with two other students. I went home to my dad crying some evenings, kind of, where do we go from here? Then, my dad, he was brilliant. He sat me down and he just kind of gave me some pointers and told me kind of where to go from there. So I went to actually ringing parents myself and telling them kind of a bit more about me, a bit more about Wexford Study Hub, and they actually loved the idea that I was open up over the holidays, over the midterm and Christmas. So a few of them were like, no, well, they're doing study somewhere else or at home, but I will be very interested in sending them down over the holidays. That would be brilliant. So a few more students came in over the midterm, and then it was just kind of, once they walked into the building, once they sat down and studied there, they realised, wow, this is actually really good. They'd go back, they'd tell a few of their friends, and then it just kind of became a snowball effect then from there. Then it was, I think it was October, I was sitting in the room and 12 Peters lads kind of arrived in, and then kind of every day after that, it just kind of started getting bigger and bigger, and it just really worked then from then on, because once the students came in the door, they realised, this is good, I can get something out of this.
People listening to the show here this morning, Faye, must be wondering, where did the money come from to support this project for you?
It was on a shoestring budget. We had little to nothing. A lot of family favours were called in. There was a lot of, uncles called down for free labour. Again, the furniture would have been the biggest expense for us. So we were kind of lucky enough that we knew of a school that was going into liquidation. So we did everything, research was key on this one to make sure that you were always getting the best deals, that you kept to your budget, which is, we didn't exactly do that either, but at the same time, we didn't have a lot of money starting, and like anyone out there, I would just say always just keep researching, there's always a better deal, and just kind of don't be afraid to ask for favours and ask for support.
Now, one other initiative there that you're launching shortly is Coderdojo. John O'Connor of Enniscorthy Enterprise Centre joined me on the show a number of months ago when he launched a Coderdojo initiative in Enniscorthy, which has been phenomenally successful. Now, the good news is for parents across Wexford town is that you're launching one next week in the study hub itself. Tell parents in Wexford town what it's all about, please.
Yeah, I'm very excited about Coderdojo. It's absolutely brilliant movement for young students that want to learn more about computer programming. Coding is kind of what it's called. They can develop gaming apps, gaming programs and websites, and it's starting March 23rd in Wexford Study Hub, Saturday mornings from 10:30 to 12:30. But I think it's all volunteering. Everyone is volunteering their time. I'm volunteering my premises, Wexford Study Hub, and it's to benefit students, to give them, education on kind of coding and doing more with computers. So it's very exciting. It's brilliant for Wexford Town, and it's brilliant for the young kids to have something to do and, potentially develop a career out of something big and brilliant as well.
Absolutely. Now, I can see that, this will be in every primary and secondary syllabus in 10 years' time, but it's great to see that Wexford is leading the way in relation to this. What age group of kid is this aimed at?
This is aimed from anyone, I think, to 7 to 18. So, I have a good few of my students that are doing it, which are kind of 17, but there are also a good few kids that are, 8 or 9 or 10 coming in to do the course as well. So there is no age gap on it for students, as long as you have an interest, it's something that you want to do, or not even want to do, but actually have an interest and want to learn something new. The brilliant thing about it is you don't have to be amazing at computers to do coding. and we've got some brilliant volunteers that are giving up their time as well.
For any parent that's listening to the show this morning that has a child between the age of 7 and 17, they should contact you in relation to getting some more information.
Yeah, and spaces are extremely limited as well, so I would suggest getting in touch with us as soon as possible. You can contact Wexford Study Hub directly to book your place in.
Well, Faye, you're an absolute inspiration. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for coming in this morning, and I wish you every success with developing the Wexford Study Hub and with the launch of Coderdojo.
You're listening to South East Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Think Wexford Insurances for your business insurance.